This is the OnePlus 12 and I'm here with my end of year review talking about this phone. And I know the OnePlus 13 is right around the corner and you may actually be watching this video after January 7th when the OnePlus 13 is officially unveiled. And that is okay because I think this was a very, very underrated phone of 2024. It's a very powerful, very good phone and I don't think it was talked about too much. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. MTG here with another episode. If you're new to the channel, hi there. So OnePlus 12, I want to start things off with design. In the past year of using this display has been amazing, especially for content consumption. It's been phenomenal. And I usually say that the most important part of a phone is the display because that's where you're spending and interacting with the phone, the display. A 6.82-inch Quad HD LTPO 120 Hz display. It's magnificent. It's great. Now I still don't like how it's a curved display, and that's just a personal preference. Some may like it, some may not, including myself. That is completely okay. But I don't really like the rounded corners as well. Again, that's also personal preference. And if I were given the choice of having a flat display phone over a curved, I'd probably go with the phone that has a flat display. Again, just a personal preference, but I did want to point that out there. The curves on this display are not as drastic as previous generations, so OnePlus did a good job there. Another thing I do like about this design that I think a lot of other companies should take note is the alert slider. Like, why aren't other companies taking note of this alert slider? I really like it. And look at that. That's a new feature of Oxygen OS 15. But like, why? It's so useful. And that's why I continue to look forward to OnePlus devices. I love using them. But everything else about this design has been pretty good. I like this green color. I like the texture on it too, so that's a good plus. I think OnePlus found their iconic design in a sense. When you see this design with the circular camera cutout, you know it's a OnePlus phone. So good job in the design department because this display, it's very vibrant. It gets very bright outdoors and just very smooth, buttery smooth. In fact, you won't have any problems with this display. When it comes to the performance, again, I think this is a flagship key thing to not forget. OnePlus has always performed well in this department. Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, 16 gigs of RAM. My model has half a terabyte of storage. These are things to expect with a flagship device. And I think OnePlus 12 is a flagship device. And again, this going back to the display, it's got flagship specs to the display, but the day-to-day performance has been great. Now I recently got Android 15, Oxygen OS 15 on the OnePlus 12, but for almost the entire year I had Android 14 and it was good. You know, it's not my favorite custom OEM skin, but it's doable, it's usable, it's fine. I like it. It could be better. I like One UI more than Oxygen OS, but you know, it's all right. For using it as a daily phone, it's not gonna get in the way. I'll put it that way. Now I do miss the older generations of Oxygen OS when it was like almost stock Android. But you know, I don't think after this point OnePlus is gonna switch back and kind of go that route, but just keep this newer version of Oxygen OS that's very similar to Color OS. I think that's the route they're going to be going moving forward. But on a day-to-day basis, like I said, if you're going to pick this up for playing lots of games like Clash of Clans, Call of Duty Warzone, Call of Duty Mobile, playing the new Pokemon TCG Pocket, whether you're watching lots of YouTube videos, browsing, social media, all that stuff, you won't have any problems with the OnePlus 12. Now, when we head into the camera, how has it held up the entire year? I still believe that this is the department that OnePlus hasn't put in their all. They haven't put in 100%. I feel like if they do, the price, which I'll get to in a little bit, would be a little bit higher. But I think every other department, OnePlus performs like a champ, but the camera, it's just a little bit like subpar when compared to devices that it's trying to compete against. Now it has a triple camera setup, which is great. And if you do have this and you want to make content, that's great. It's a great phone to start. I think phones nowadays are great devices to start making content. You really have no excuse regardless of the phone you have. It has a 50 megapixel wide, a 64 megapixel periscope telephoto with 3x optical zoom, and a 48 megapixel ultra wide. And the results are pretty good. You know, they're decent. But again, I guess it also does come down to personal preference, whether you prefer like the more saturated photos of the S24 Ultra, like vibrant photos and things like that, or you like pixel results better, or you like iPhone results better. I guess it does come down to a preference, but I don't know. I still think the quality itself on those phones, cameras look a little bit better, both in photo and especially in video. I think iPhone just champs in the video department. Photos are still pretty good with the OnePlus 12. Videos are okay. They could be better, but I wouldn't pick up the OnePlus 12 if camera is a priority. And for me, it's really not, so I don't really mind it too much, but I just want to point it out there. And throughout the past year, it's performed pretty decent. It gets the job done, I'll put it that way. When we head into the battery department, oh yeah, this is a great phone. Great battery life. 5,400 milliamp hour battery. It lasts easily all day. If you are a heavy user, you're not going to have any issues with the OnePlus 12. It also has 80 watts Super VOOC charging and 50 watts of wireless charging. Granted, you have to make sure you have the correct wireless charger from OnePlus to get that full 50 watts of wireless charging. And it charges to 100% wired in about 28 minutes. So one, you're getting great battery life. It's going to easily last you 7-8 hours of screen on time. Two, you get super fast charging, so you don't even need to worry about charging speeds or anything like that. I think OnePlus did a great job in the battery department, and I feel like OnePlus 13 is going to even have better battery life with the efficiency of Snapdragon 8 Elite, with the physically larger battery capacity and all that good stuff. It's going to be a great phone for battery. And then the price. I want to kind of dabble into the pricing. It's a part of the phone that a lot of people kind of look into when purchasing a phone. In most cases, it's the determining factor. But here's what I gotta say about OnePlus. With everything else that I talked about, how great it is in all the other departments, $799 for the base model, and you're getting 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage for the base model, and then $899 for the top model with 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. This is the MSRP price. You can now find these much lower on OnePlus's website, or if you find it from Amazon, especially when the OnePlus 13 comes out, these are definitely going to go down in price, and they're still going to perform like a champ heading into 2025 and 26 and 27 and so forth. So I think it's going to be a long-lasting phone, but I think you're paying for a premium phone at a great price, especially when you compare it to its other devices that carry very similar specs and are priced higher. But wrapping things up, OnePlus 12 I think is the most underrated phone of 2024. It competes with the flagship devices, albeit I think its main cut is still the camera quality. Look, the OnePlus 12, it's a very good phone, and it really is. And I would easily recommend this device, especially if you aren't interested or your focus isn't in cameras. That being said, I can easily recommend this device, especially for those who are also looking for something like awesome performance and a great experience, both with the battery life and with charging speeds. Again, I feel like this phone wasn't talked about. Maybe just like the feed that I've seen through YouTube and through the other platforms, like the feed that's come across me, I haven't really seen the OnePlus 12 being talked about enough, but it's a very, very good phone. But I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, definitely be sure to superman that like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel out a lot. It will help push my content out to more people. That's been it for me. I'll catch you guys in the next video.